Real Madrid have three main problems in the camp, and they come from three main players. Namely being Vinicius Jr. being one of them, David Alaba being the second, and finally, Raul Asensio. Now, let's start with Vinicius Jr. This guy has been pretty much the talk of the town throughout the summer because of his contract stalling. His negotiations have stalled with Real Madrid, and he's looking to demand more money. Namely being more money than Kylian Mbappe's wages. May I remind you, Kylian Mbappe's wages, 600,000 a week. That is crazy. Our highest paid player. And we have another one coming up in this video very soon. But Kylian Mbappe, talking about him and his performance last season, winning essentially the Pichichi, of course, highest goal scoring tally in LaLiga, and Vini, throughout the whole season, doing absolutely nothing. Nothing to warrant an increase in his pay. If he performed, and you can relate this to any person in a performance-related job, you perform, you can demand higher wages. That's what it is, as simple as that. However, Vini did not perform last year. He did not perform at all. And for me, when I look at it, you have to perform to demand that. So, he needs to get off the ground running quickly in La Liga. This season needs to be his redemption arc. It needs to be his chance to prove every single fan, including myself, wrong. Maybe not Will, but myself, wrong about, obviously, his performance and where it ranks amongst the highest players in the world in terms of ranking. How do you rank amongst the absolute best? And Vini, at the moment, sits well below that. He sits well below that. He may have the stature and the status of a very high-ranked player in the world, but unfortunately, he doesn't command it on the pitch. When Mbappe did last season, even though we didn't win one major trophy. So, the situation remains as this. Can Vini really perform next season? Can he really create something, give himself value, where Perez go in the ballroom, say, okay, cool, I demand this much a week. It's not going to be on Mbappe's level. That is for absolute certain. Because if we can get 300 million for Vini and also cut out that need to pay him even more money, then we can recruit better, younger players that can fit into this system that Xabi Alonso wants to deploy across the whole season. It's pretty much straightforward. So this higher wage nonsense is really, really getting on my nerves because he doesn't deserve it. He doesn't. Let's be honest. He doesn't deserve it. So if he did deserve it, I'd be like, okay, cool. 300, 350, whatever he wants in terms of demands. But he's not going to be on Mbappe's wage. When Mbappe was free. So Real Madrid had a bit more in reserve to say, okay, cool, Mbappe, you're going to get this amount per week. So that is exactly the case. And Vini needs to really straighten out his priorities because if he doesn't perform, forget the contract extension, negotiation, renewal, or whatever, this guy has to go. If he doesn't perform this season, that is as simple as that. So for me, I look at it like that, exactly like that. And another player that is on absolute ludicrous wages is David Alaba. What is up with this guy? This guy's consistently injured. And Real Madrid, they're like, okay, he's in our plans. He's in our summer plans. He's in our team. And I'm telling you right now, he doesn't fit Xabi Alonso's team. He doesn't. He's too slow. He's too lethargic. He's not got the same pace that he did when he first came to the club or when he was playing with Bayern Munich. That kind of David Alaba that is very versatile, can play in a centre-back, can play left-back. He isn't that guy anymore. Why are we paying that much money for David Alaba? Why? What is the point? Just let him go. We can release those funds and then we can get more players in, essentially. More players, great players that can be fitting into the midfield or a replacement left back. Because the talks of Frank Garcia leaving and not really in Xabi Alonso's plan either means that we have a space there. We have a space, and Mendy, look, that guy is consistently injured as well. What's up with Real Madrid and consistently injured players? I have no idea what's going on. But for me personally, I look at Real Madrid as just a place where old people come to retire at the moment. That's what it is. Like, Alaba is just sitting on the bench doing absolutely nothing. This guy does nothing. Why are we paying him the wages? Let him go. Look, he had merch in the Real Madrid store. Are you high, Real Madrid? You're giving... this is ludicrous. It's ludicrous. I have to laugh about it. Why has he got merch? This guy is not deserving to be a Real Madrid player anymore. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry. Yes, thank you for the times, but you have to go, unfortunately. 400k a week. You're crazy. 400. That is mad, yeah? So we really need to look and reevaluate these wage structures because there's so many players. I know Mbappe, that wage is ludicrous as well. But the situation is, I don't think he would have come if he wasn't getting a substantially bigger pay packet. That's what it was. So Mbappe, yes, he scored the amount of goals that deserved that. Let's be honest. He scored the goals that literally put us in second position. I know second's not a prize, especially for any Real Madrid fan, but if it wasn't for him, we would have been done completely throughout the season. So, Alaba, no, that guy deserves not to be in his club. And I tell you what, the third guy that's been on getting my nerves is Raul Asensio. Raul Asensio. This guy has been doing a bozo moment in Club World Cup. I can see him in Alonso's system not being the guy. I'm telling you right now, Alonso wants to work the ball out from the back. No more of this, gung-ho football where you do an over-the-top ball. Because if he does an over-the-top ball, Alonso's like, okay, you don't deserve to be in this team. That's what it is. Alonso wants to play possession-based football with intent. So essentially, you pass at the back, but don't hold it in the back for too long, like he did in the Club World Cup against PSG. That is what happens when you're too sluggish on the ball, that you don't have no motivation to pass it forward. You just like passing it sideways, sideways, sideways. This is not sideways, sideways, backwards, backwards FC anymore. This is Xabi Alonso's Real Madrid. So we really need to be cautious about the kind of players that we are actually keeping in this club. I want to do a buy, sell, or keep, or bench video very soon because unfortunately there are so many players in this team that have no warrant on actually being here. I'm telling you right now, Fran Garcia, for all I actually like him as a player in terms of what he brings in attacking wise, defensively, he is shocking. He overcommits against the best in teams in Europe. We will be annihilated. That includes Barcelona, that includes PSG, that includes other teams as well, especially if they're on form. Yeah. So we need to really be, and especially Liverpool with how they're growing as well. So unfortunately, these kind of players, they need to go. They need to disappear. And it's so brain box dead at the moment that we have no idea what we're doing with these players. It's a whole summer. We haven't outed Alaba. We haven't got rid of Asensio. And we're still stalling with Vinny. 300 million. 300 million. The Saudi news outlets are saying that Vinny would bring so much attraction to the Saudi league. Of course he would. He's one of the most recognizable football figures in the world. But you're demanding that amount of money for Vinny, and they're expected to pay it for him to go to Saudi. Of course they are. They're going to pay 300 M's. If it's a marketability opportunity, they're going to pay it. So why not let him go? Why not? It's crazy to me. And unfortunately, these three players are very, very problematic. Very, very problematic. Vinny can't play with Mbappe. Alaba's consistently sitting on the bench, mate. I would get more game time than Alaba. I'm fitter than him at the moment. That's saying something. That's saying something. So, unfortunately, we really need to reevaluate this structure, the wage structure, everything about Real Madrid at the moment because it's looking fishy big time. And Perez is at the reign of it. He's at the reign. So, guys, honestly, make sure you comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on this because Vinny, Asensio, and Alaba, major problems. Major problems. And we have to really do something proper. Okay? So, guys, take care. Like this video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And don't forget to comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. As always, I say, a la Madrid y nada más. And it's time to end the stream, Dave. Take care, guys. And we'll see you next time. Adios.